What does this thing do? That's a great question. It's a table that you can rotate, and as that happens, the panels expand out, ones underneath lift into position, and when they relock, you have a new surface that's much larger than it was before. Today we're going to put panels on here, and I think it'll make it much clearer how that happens, and start to show off some of the magic, the part that makes it mesmerizing to watch. The basic dimensions are 48 inches in the small condition, and 61 in the large condition, approximately here. That gives you a 62% expansion ratio, which is also the ratio between miles and kilometers, and I take that as a good omen for metric on this project.
I'm pleased to announce that after all the requests over the years, we're finally going to make this table round in both conditions. It's round when it's small, and when it's large.
The original metal prototype mechanism panels have been stored out here in my precision climate facility. They have a little extra fuzz as a result, but that's okay because these are prototype panels for a prototype mechanism. The upshot is that I've been conducting a flatness aging study, and the oak plywood, some of which is right there, has done quite well as the Baltic birch with a veneer layer that I'm planning to use for the nice looking panels later. New neighbors. Panel thickness is very important on this project, so even my prototype panels need to be pretty much on the money in terms of thickness. Fortunately, the actual panel that I'm planning on using is this Baltic birch, which comes in at about 690, depending on where you measure it, and with a 30 thousandths veneer over top, that's about 720. And if I measure this oak plywood that I had laying around, I usually get, if I find a clean spot, about 725, 730. It's awfully close to that, within 10 thousandths. And that's close enough for what we're doing right now.
The original panels were round in the small condition at 48 inches, so here I'm taking off that outer edge to bring it to 61. The original lifting panels were just a little too narrow, and my board stretcher's broken, so I had to add on material. Once I had the complete template, things got a little easier.
This is a basic layout test of the 8 main outer panels. The star, we'll cut that later. First, we need to make sure everything else is looking decent. To attach the panels to the cart, we have an intermediate riser block / mount, which will eventually be made out of aluminum. And then we are going to have these nut inserts which are embedded in the panels, and that gives a nice metal thread to thread into. And we have 3 points here so we can do some adjustment shimming. I'm going to skip these inserts for the moment because to just drill a 1/4 20 hole into wood should be fine for some basic testing. It'll go up, but oops. As you can see, these main panels are looking pretty good. One gotcha I ran into when mounting them was these lateral support brackets. They were slightly too high. So if this is that panel and it's mounted to the cart here in the front, and this is right here and it's a little too high, as you translate out, it'll tend to flip over and then tilt down. So I made the mounting holes on these real short slots and put them down just a little bit. And now they're just brushing against the bottom. And with this riding level to the track, it stays that way and works fine. I've also evolved the strategy on the underside a bit. So this is our mounting block. I designed some stepped shims that slide over it. These are U-shaped and there's 3 levels. And those worked pretty well. I've also changed the way that the screw access takes place. So right now, if this is further out, this hole here will line up and allow access to that screw there by reaching through. And then these ones on the side can be directly accessed. It's not too steep of an angle. I originally designed a fancy leveling plate to sit on top of this. I realized that it would take a long time to build. You hopefully only need to use it once or rarely. If it turns out that I need to solve that other problem, then we can go back to a fancy leveling plate. But right now, don't solve imagined problems. If we rotate, this is quite handy that I don't have to move the camera. I guess I do have to move it. So this is our lifting panel block. Unfortunately, the height here is a little bit less, but the distance over is the same, and that means that this angle is too steep. I designed some other blocks here with wings that stick out on the side, which will allow much more direct access and help solve that issue. You can see that everything is not quite as good as it may have appeared. Right now I'm offset this way a bit. That's just due to my freehand mounting. The other issue, though, is that it had the right height originally, and here it's not lifting up enough. That's disappointing because I thought I had the lifting hub aligned pretty well and everything taken care of. It's not terrible, but it is a problem, and I think it's just due to our hub alignment and problems with that. I have continued my soul searching on the way that this thing goes up and down and how we can strain it. I've got parts in the mail for a new design. In the meantime, let's get these upgraded mounting blocks onto the lifting panels. I'm getting 0.2 inches more lift on that side of the mechanism. 0.2 is a lot. Our entire clearance here that was designed was 130 thousandths, so 0.2 is just swamping everything. I checked the ramp height since they were printed about a month apart to make sure that the ramps were the same height, and they are. I took a few steps back in the hopes that now we will be ready to take a few more steps forward and come out ahead overall. I actually installed the adjustable hard stops on the end here, which I designed in to help myself, but hadn't actually completed. Then I thought through and came up with a fancy new procedure, which I wrote down to get this thing aligned. Number 1, we want the lifting hub to bottom out here on this hard stop, which means it cannot bottom out on the travel in the hub or on these rollers. So the first thing we're going to do, slide a piece of shim material underneath and make sure there's an 1/8 inch gap there all the time. Having that even gap along the bottom should also mean that the lifting hub is parallel in both axes with the main hub. So we'll take that opportunity to bring the set screws in evenly from each side and get that adjusted. The core of the lifting hub is where we want it in the low position. Now we can adjust this screw so that this end piece is where we want it in the low position. And after that, we can tie them together by fastening those gusset plates down and adjusting up and down as needed to make sure that these rails are flat. With everything set in the low condition, we now need to set the vertical travel. The ramp height was originally exactly the travel needed, but I'll be shimming these up slightly so that these rollers are floating in the low condition, and this ensures that we'll hard stop out here against these arms. Those set screws need some Loctite. I don't have any purple, but I do have retaining compound from 6 years ago. So hopefully this is sufficiently weak to hold them in place while leaving them adjustable. I pulled the TIG wire spacers out of up here. These were undoing the bias that I put into these gusset plates. And then I realized that we have lots of these clamp type connections elsewhere, and I'm not biasing any of those. I also haven't seen any evidence of it slipping. It seems like I'm trying to solve an imagined problem here. So I took it out. We're gonna mount these flat. If it actually is a problem, we'll fix it. It's getting heavy enough that I had to trim away my paper. It kept tearing it as I spin this around. The lifting hub has been tightened up in the center. Now we need to adjust these so they're flush. I love having adjustable stops because you can come in with your screwdriver and just turn it until everything is perfect. Now the arms need to be leveled. It's resting on the outside as expected, and I can see that I have roughly an 1/8 inch gap underneath the level. I should be able to just bring this up, secure the gussets, bring that up, and then they should all be pretty close. The lifting arms are level enough. You can see the gap here, and this is a 50 thou thick washer roughly. I think we're finally in a good place with even lifting across all of the arms. We started off with a difference of 200 thousandths max. Then I went through my 5-step process and all of that, and it was down to 80 thousandths between the highest and lowest case. And then after some additional shimming with business cards under there to give myself more fine-tuned control, I have the maximum difference down to 40 thousandths. That should be fine to let us move forward for now. This circle that I have left over is slightly too small to make the star. So instead I'm going to cut a square out here and then make each of the 4 sides. It's already being used as a table. I think that's a good sign. The castle nut in the center sticks up high enough that we actually need to relieve the bottom of the star so it can sit lower. I turned one of my initial expansion arm prototypes that was laser cut into the star lifting plate prototype here. You can see it in action. When it has some weight on it, it'll go down on its own. The height's not going to be perfect, but I just want to set the star in here and do a quick rough check on the fit. This is slightly precarious. For the very first time I ever set it in there, I think we should count that as a win. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. First pass. Oh man, that was the very first one. I didn't test drive it before. You saw it live on video. Nice. In order to make the table thin, we cannot have a lot of wasted space in here. You can see these gaps are about 1/8 of an inch. Let's see if it expands. man, I love watching the star come up twice as much as the others. Later versions will have better adjustment in all directions, as well as some tongue and groove features on the side to help out with that final little bit of alignment. But for right now, I am very pleased with where this has landed, and that's it for this week. Thank you for watching.